failures की आप बात करते हैं, like CA students, CA tough, ceaselessly attempting, come again, काफ़ी acronyms है जो failures CA में, and I know people who've taken 7-8 attempts, and it's not easy for all. I mean, it's like it's a journey which really tests you. I I came first. I came first, and I came first. The whole world was like, everybody wrote to me for industrial training and all that stuff. And then I went for my final exam. I failed my first attempt, both groups.
Oh.
Both groups. I failed my first attempt, both groups, disastrously.
My God.
Because 3 months before my exam, I lost my mother, and I was in no framework to give the exam. So, like, when I went for the exam, I could not handle the exams. But obviously, you can't go and tell the world that you had a personal problem. When I failed both groups, I was a public failure. People used to give examples, CA exam, देखो जो first आया वो भी fail हो गया. So when I used to go to a library to study, people used to point out to me that ये लड़का देख CA first आके fail हो गया. But then you fought back and then you cleared and you came fourth in the immediate attempt which came. So failures happen with everybody. जो CA करते हैं उसको failure से डरना नहीं चाहिए. I think there are lots of, in our KPMG journey also, we came across so many
Definitely.
articles failing, and single member of the family earning, to whom that CA degree suddenly changes your comp from 5,000-6,000 to
Yeah.
50,000, right?
Yeah.
That time, now it is more, now it is
Yeah.
10 lakhs.
Yeah.
But failure is the energy. I failed, public failure.
Yeah, I also want to just make one kind of point here, Kushal, that हम लोग काफ़ी लोग इमोशनल हो जाते हैं फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, सेकंड अटेम्प्ट, थर्ड अटेम्प्ट, ये कोई मायने नहीं रखता.
कोई माने नहीं.
इन आर स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स, जब हम लोगों को देखते थे आफ्टर अ पर्टिकुलर टाइम रिक्रूटमेंट हो गया, और उसके बाद ईयर ऑन ईयर जब परफॉर्मेंस देखते थे तो कोई नहीं बोलता था कि ये फर्स्ट अटैम्प्ट वाला है कि सेकंड अटैम्प्ट वाला है. सो टू दैट एक्सटेंट इट्स, बाय द वे, ऑन अ लाइटर नोट, ऑन द पॉइंट ऑन हाउ टफ CA is, and so one of my very close mentors is Deepak Parekh, and Parekh has publicly said that he couldn't clear his CA, and that's why he went and did his UK kind of CA. One of our former CEOs, a guy called Sridhar Iyengar, KPMG के, बहुत फॉर्चुनेट है उनके साथ काम करने के लिए, वो भी कभी CA नहीं कर पाए, तो वो फिर UK जाके. So I think the point really is that all of this is ultimately about knowledge and application of knowledge. A degree helps you to get started, of course. If you go without a degree, obviously it becomes a thing कि आपका कोई credibility नहीं है, कौन कैसे assess करे, आपको chance कैसे देगा. Or once you have a degree, I think your ability to build on that is all a factor of आपका work experience क्या है, आपका aptitude क्या है.
Yeah. आपके लाइफ में सिमिलर ऐसे कुछ फेलियर्स जैसे हुए थे इन द स्टार्ट ऑफ योर करियर? और
No, actually I was very fortunate, and I'll actually more than so I wouldn't, just a segue there. I think I was very 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 fortunate to have good mentors actually, and those mentors in some way helped to make sure that I did not have any fatal kind of things happening along the way. Now that does not mean that failures can happen at different stages of your life. I did not have examination related failure. Actually, I had a dream run, but when you grow, you realize that in many things you want certain things, you believe you deserve certain things, but they don't happen for whatever reason. You feel dejected, you feel right कि क्यों हो रहा है हमारे साथ. That's when you have to pick up your inner self and say that, look, frankly, this is not the end of the world. Whether it is failure, whether it is disappointment, it's always keep applying yourself and the outcome will happen.
So can you give an example, something which did not happen the way you wanted it to happen?
Yeah, I think Girish spoke about the CEO process.
Yeah.
And and when you participate in something like that, you're not doing it for time pass. You're doing it because you genuinely believe that you are the most credible this thing. Now things happen at a point in time, things don't happen at a point in time, and then you take a call that if this is it, what do you then do and say, okay, now if this is not for me, that doesn't mean that I'm a failure, or I will sulk and I'll say system is wrong. Who cares? Ultimately, that then you should think, and you should then say what is, all of this are life moments where you should reflect on what you want to do in life actually. And I think I think each one of us has their moments. We've seen enough of these kind of stories around. It's how you apply after that is what is meaningful.
If you learned something new from this video, do share it with your friends and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you the best content possible. Also, if you want to watch this entire episode, click on the link in the description box and you can go to Kushal Lodha YouTube channel and watch the entire podcast episode. Thank you so much for watching this and have an amazing day.